Hi, I'm Robert Biedroń, and I'm a chair of Women's Rights and Gender Equality Committee of European Parliament. And today it's International Women's Day, and I'm ready to answer your questions. Let's go for Q&A.
How can governments and organizations promote women's mental health and well-being?
It's a great question because still the issue of health is in the competences of member states. So we as European Parliament, we are pushing on common policies on these grounds. So use your vote and change the situation for better to protect also every girl and woman in the context of mental health.
How does the European Parliament ensure that it protects women and girls, not just within its borders, but also beyond, by ensuring the integration of gender equality into foreign policies?
European Parliament represents the second democracy in the world by population. It's a big obligation also for all the countries and nations outside EU. That's why we adopted Gender Action Plan 3, where we introduce policies to help girls and women outside. For example, in the programs devoted to combating gender-based violence.
What else can the European Parliament do to combat violence against women and gender abuse in EU member states?
It's a great question because so far European Union didn't have any legislation devoted to protecting women and girls against gender-based violence. And now we have a directive which I took part on negotiations on combating violence against women and gender-based violence, including domestic violence. And you can help also in member states to push on the positive change, participating, for example, in the coming European elections.
Mr. Chair, I would like to ask whether a discussion on forms of violence or breach of consent through generative AI has been scheduled in some committee.
Violence online, including also deep fakes, are the serious threats to security of many girls and women. And yes, our committee treats these dangers seriously. And that's why in the directive, we just finished negotiations on combating violence against women and domestic violence. We included this topic. So soon, every girl and every woman in European Union will be also protected against these kinds of violence.
Dear Chair Biedroń, how is the European Parliament tackling the underrepresentation of women from marginalized backgrounds, including those from ethnic minorities?
Intersectionality is the key. We need to put the spotlight on women with disabilities, migrant women, women of colors, LGBTI plus women, to include them in all the policies we implement in European Union and member states. Intersectionality, this is the key.
Hi. I want to ask MEP Robert Biedroń what he thinks can be done to tackle menstrual poverty and to guarantee access to menstrual products for everyone.
This issue was for a long time a taboo, especially for men, that we could not and we didn't know how to discuss this important topic. Words like think tanks, menstrual poverty were very often unknown for majority of population, and we are to change it. The committee I'm chairing is devoted to open the debate, for example, on education, not only of girls and women on this topic, but also boys and men, that we will be better prepared to tackle these important issues.
What are your predictions? What will be the female representation of the MEPs after the next EU elections?
So Robert, answering to Robert, says that we need more women on the board. For the first elections to the European Parliament, we had only 17% of women. Now we have 39, but democracy of 39 is still not a democracy. We need 50-50 at least. So we need to use our votes. The coming European elections are a great chance to change it and give women a chance to decide about European politics.